Are you satisfied with this, or do you think there's still another level where you can dominate a fighter like this?
Well, I think there's definitely another level that I can reach. But at the same time, you know, when you're in there with top 10, top 15 guys, it's hard to just, you know, dominate those guys. But at the same time, I'm happy with my performance. We go back to the drawing boards and see what we can do differently next time out.
Okay, you have been jawing with a couple of middleweights. This is suddenly a stacked division. Charlo and Andrade are around, and the whole Billy Joe Saunders, and of course Triple G and Canelo. What are your thoughts? Who do you want?
Well, ultimately, we want the guys with the belts. We want to go for the green belts. We want to go for the tigers with the strap. But if we can't go and get those guys, we're going to go down a list of great contenders and challengers. And if Brooklyn wants Charlo, where you at, boy? Come see me. I'm the king of Brooklyn, baby. You know what it is.
Thanks, Daniel. Congratulations. Jim?
Let me say this. Okay. So the story originated from Radio Raheem, Seconds Out, boxing scene. He did an interview with Oscar De La Hoya at a golf fundraiser. You know, Andy Garcia was there, you know, from The Godfather, Untouchables, and everything like that. It was a, you know, high-profile event. So we got a chance to catch up with Oscar De La Hoya, and the burning question is, well, what's going on with Canelo versus Golovkin? Right now, June the 6th, 2018, 10:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Oscar, they're not budging. They're not going to give Golovkin 50-50. Talks are still ongoing, but with Golovkin's camp, Abel Sanchez, Golovkin in his interviews, not so much the promoter, Tom Loeffler, they're talking a lot of shit. And Golden Boy doesn't like, you know, the way Golovkin and Abel Sanchez was talking about Canelo in the media, basically like, yo, you was juicing and shit, you know, like, you know, you're not, you know, a real champion and all that. We knew we really beat you. You probably was on some shit then. And in the court of public opinion, it looked really bad for Canelo. Now it looks good that Canelo has signed up for 24/7, 365-day-a-week drug testing. But for people in the know, boxing media, we know that really sometimes the WBC you know, they don't, you know, and VADA, they don't drug test accordingly. So it may say 24/7, 365, but they really don't show up like they should. I remember there was an issue with Dana Garcia and Keith Thurman where they were talking about a month before the fight that they haven't had any drug testing. I remember because I was at the media workout for Dana Garcia, and it was like, what's going on, you know? So with the WBC, the green belt, one of the 3 belts that Golovkin has, you have to do 300, or you have to enroll in the clean boxing program. So if you're ranked by the WBC, you're supposed to automatically sign up for VADA drug testing, you know? So it's a very, very good idea. You know, it's still a new concept and idea, but they're on the right track, but there's still some, you know, shit they got to work out in there. But anyway, it was good for Canelo to, you know, submit hair follicles. It was good for the Nevada State Athletic Commission to suspend Canelo because Canelo brings in a lot of money. So a lot of people didn't think they were going to do it, even though it was a retroactive suspension that involved him not being able to fight from April to just enough time for him to be able to fight in September. So Golovkin's team is like, we had nothing to do with the May 5th fight not going through. The May 5th fight was done. They had the press conference, press tour, all that stuff. But Golovkin's team feels that they should get more money now. Now, they agreed for, I'm guessing it was 35%, you know, for the fight to happen, you know, this May, the one that didn't happen because Canelo was suspended. He had to pull out, you know, and now he submitted hair follicles, and it's been shown that none of that shit's in his system. To get a little further off the track before I go back to my point, I don't think that any fighter should ever use the excuse of, oh, shit, well, I failed the drug test because I was eating some tainted, contaminated meat in Mexico. Don't eat no meat when you go to Mexico. And if you're not from Russia, don't drink nothing, don't eat nothing over there either. Or Germany, mostly Russia, don't eat nothing. Don't drink the water, nothing. I think that should be common knowledge. But to go back to what I was saying, Golovkin's team feels like, okay, now, you cost us money by that fight not going through. We had no plans on fighting you possibly again in September. We wanted to move on. So Golovkin, they wanted to make use of their training camp, so they went on to fight Venus Martirosyan. Now Oscar De La Hoya is looking at them like, yo, you can't be, look, you fighting for this little bit of money, this $1 million for Venus Martirosyan. And now you're going to come to us and say you want 50-50 when you're not the number one guy. Yes, it is true that Canelo is the number one guy. He is the A side. But I also feel that Golovkin should get some more money. 50-50, no. That this doesn't happen in boxing. It just doesn't happen. You have the Billy Joe Saunders situation. He's now available to fight in September, it's looking like. Now that he's not fighting Martin Murray, a fight that was supposed to happen in April got postponed to June. Martin Murray got pissed because he at the end of his career, he wanted that payday and that title shot. Moving back down to 160 pounds, a place where he wasn't in 3 years. So he goes on to social media, ranting. He's pissed. He has every right to be pissed. So fans are going to look at if Canelo and Golovkin do get a deal done, or now what we're going to talk about is Canelo versus Jacobs. If they get a deal done, people are going to look at Billy Joe Saunders, whether he's injured, really injured or not, and say, that's what you get. So all this shit is some crazy shit going on when you look at this whole boxing political shit. You hear Danny Jacobs calling out Jamal Charlo, but Danny Jacobs left a situation where he was with Showtime PBC Al Heyman. It's still a very cloudy situation when it comes to Al Heyman. I'm going to say he's still with Al Heyman. But whatever the case may be, the point I'm trying to make is he left a situation where he was on Showtime with PBC Al Heyman, where the Jamal Charlo fight would have been easier to make. And also, I'm sure Showtime, in the way they've been doing things, they would have made sure that fight got made. So him fighting Jamal Charlo is out of the question. Him fighting Billy Joe Saunders is out of the question. Why is it out of the question? Because Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is the sole promoter of Danny Jacobs. And from my understanding, Danny Jacobs is an HBO fighter too. Frank Warren, the promoter of Billy Joe Saunders, WBO champion at 160 pounds, does not work with Eddie Hearn. They have two. It's similar to the HBO Showtime situation over here. Frank Warren fighters fight on BT Sport and or Box Nation, where and these are UK, international, brands, where Eddie Hearn fights on, Sky Sports, and now he's got this new mysterious, streaming service coming out. So the time frame is ticking. We're now basically next week's going to be in the middle of June. We in June the 6th. They got to start getting a promotional, thing going with this fight. Now, this is normal, Floyd Mayweather stuff. Normally, Mayweather fights are announced like a month and a half, 2 months before they actually step into the ring. But it's usually like under the 2-month mark, which is like, yo, is he going to fight or not? The shit's right around the corner. You'll hear all the rumors and the talk of the fighter Floyd Mayweather being in training camp and stuff, and you'll be like, all right, he's back. He's definitely going to be fighting. The same thing right now going to be said with Canelo, because he's supposed to be starting training camp today, June the 6th. So he's fighting in September. Is it going to be Billy Joe Saunders? Oscar De La Hoya has dropped names. He dropped Billy Joe Saunders' name on social media. He dropped Danny Jacobs' name, openly in the Radio Raheem interview. And also, like we've noticed that he's still leaving hope for the Golovkin fight. So he's kind of having them, like clawing at each other. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I do think it's a legacy fight, man. Like I really think that, financially, Canelo is better off. But for supremacy, what has been billed as, he's got to fight Golovkin. In Danny Jacobs' case, he left the situation he was in over in Showtime, to pursue bigger fights. Fights like Golovkin rematch or Canelo. That's what he's over on HBO for. Not Demetrius Andrade. God knows what's going on with him. And if Golovkin doesn't fight Canelo, he's got to fight Sergey Derevchenko. So I'm probably butchering his name. I got to go look it up again and get it right. So we're just waiting for the fights to get announced. You know, I've been doing this for so many years now. This political shit just be like, it's like, yeah.
Roy Hill.
My bad. It's just like, yeah. I already know that this fight, they're going to draw it out and make, yeah. However, Canelo has taken some hits, you know, in the PR of public opinion when it comes to hardcore fans. For one, dropping that WBC title. And then the way they've handled this Canelo-Golovkin situation, it just looks bad to the point where Canelo's got to knock Golovkin out for him to, like, erase the sins of a lot of shit he did. You know, he's at 160, but it doesn't seem like they really want to be a 160 champion. They're using that Floyd Mayweather motto, you know, that Floyd Mayweather model, but they just don't want to, like, unify the division and get all the belts. It's like, you know, the belts don't mean nothing. Canelo's already said that. TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. We're back full time. Thank you for sticking in there. You know, things are going to be advancing again like they once were. We're going to get back out to fights soon. I'm still, you know, getting around, you know, spreading my wings. We're getting there. Please subscribe. All the links to my social media right down below in the description box. I am TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live.